The hallway of the DMV office was stuffy and crowded with people who were visibly annoyed by the long wait. The air conditioner in the office wasn't working properly, and they were all suffering from a lack of fresh air and fanning themselves with hats.
A young security guard was serving the crowd with a disinterested expression, noting that the people in the room seemed as though they had been there for years, the same seniors, migrants, and dirty work clothes. Nervous young mothers with crying children were all present.
Their faces were tired and worn. The hallway of the DMV in this average town was not particularly interesting, but the security guard's attention was drawn to the tall, broad-shouldered figure of an older man in worn clothes. The man in the faded blue jacket stood out among the crowd. Though his jacket was similar in style to those worn by soldiers, he did not have the polished and well-groomed appearance of a Navy warrior. Instead, he had an unkempt and almost scary look. Half of his face was covered by a large burn scar in his hand, which he kept hidden in his pockets. He was similarly disfigured. He towered over the other people in the hallway, looking at a place.
Anxious, he kept glancing at his watch, aware that the DMV office was closing for lunch.
Soon the security guard had a grin on his face as he said to the man, "It looks like you won't make it to your appointment today. Old man, Lucy and Denise will not be sticking around any longer." Lucy and Denise were middle-aged women who worked at the DMV,
and they were tired of dealing with the long lines of hopeful visitors.
They had become arrogant and only seemed to care if the visitors brought them money or expensive gifts. There was also a new employee working in the office. The young clerk, Jennifer, was different from her colleagues, Lucy and Denise. She was a recent graduate of an orphanage and had no significant wealth,
and did not accept bribes.
She worked diligently, following the example of her beloved teacher, Mrs. McKenna, who had taken her under her wing.
Like her mother, Lucy and Denise were pleased to have a straight orphan working in the department.
That's what they called Jennifer behind her back. Lucy and Denise took advantage of Jennifer's willingness to work and often left her with most of the work, allowing them to relax and read magazines or go shopping during their lunch breaks, and often returning late to the office. They had a favorite topic of conversation, which was gossiping and making fun of Jennifer's appearance.
They did not want to acknowledge that Jennifer, who was modestly and tastefully dressed with minimal makeup on a fresh face, was 100 times more beautiful.
Then they were, instead of working on their own shortcomings and trying to improve themselves.
Lucy and Denise enjoyed spreading rumors and talking ill of Jennifer's hard-working attitude, which was considered dull by Lucy and Denise.
Her single status also became a source of ridicule, earning her the nickname Bird among the two women. But with only 15 minutes remaining before the lunch break, Lucy and Denise picked up their expensive bags with their passive expressions and left the office with dignity. The man with the burnt face was taken aback and said, "Girls, please don't leave.
I've been waiting in line since this morning."
Lucy and Denise ignored the man's plea and did not even bother to look at him.
But he persisted, his voice filled with desperation.
"Please understand that I came all the way from my village. My boss leaves in 20 minutes, and it's the last one for today.
I just need to change the photo on my driver's license." Lucy replied irritably. "Listen, old man, there are many of you here, and there are just 3 of us.
Come back after lunch break." The man pleaded further. "Please,
I can't come back after lunch.
My mother is waiting at home. She has a sick heart, which you must understand."
The man tried to plead with the angry DMV clerks, but they didn't listen to him.
Denise's face twisted with disgust as she shouted, "Guards, get this worm out of here immediately." The security guard, who had been dozing off quickly, woke up and followed Denise's orders. He pushed the man out of the room without thinking twice. He was scared of losing his job. He didn't want to disappoint his wife, who would leave him if he lost his job. The guard pushed the man out the door and locked it with a key.
When Jennifer heard the commotion, she ran out to see what was happening. She went outside to catch up with the man, but Lucy stopped her with a sneer on her face.
"If you help every customer like that, you'll never have enough time to finish all the work.
One person helping everyone else will just slow everyone down." But Jennifer ignored them and called out to the man. He turned to her with hopeful eyes.
When Jennifer saw the burn scar on his face, she hesitated but quickly composed herself and said, "Please come back to the office. I will take care of everything, and you will make it in time for your bus." Jennifer worked on the man's paperwork. He sat hunched over in a chair, staring blankly at one spot. He muttered, Is there really no justice in this world? What for what? I risked my life for them. Jennifer handed the completed document to the man, who was still visibly upset. Here you go, please, Jennifer said as she handed the document to him. Please, I'm sorry for what my colleague said. Their work is stressful and they're burnt out. Unfortunately, this is what happens to people at the office sometimes. The man with the bird scars thanked Jennifer and wished her happiness before leaving the office. An hour later, Lucy and Denise came back from their lunch break and were met with angry glares from the people waiting in line. Someone in the crowd said insolently, "No words. The girl is working alone while they just walk around." The anger of the people was echoed by others. "No, we can't let this go. We should file a complaint." Someone sighed sadly. "What good will it do? They'll just get fired and replaced by others. It's better to just give them money and let them choke on it." The day continued as normal in the evening.
Lucy and Denise laughed and mocked Jennifer.
"We have never seen such a fool, and you will be the first one.
A man lied to you and got help out of pity, and you got tricked. But the girl didn't pay attention to her colleague's words. She quickly went home, where her beloved cat was waiting for her.
Felix probably got bored and tore the wallpaper," Jennifer thought with a smile, happily tapping her heels on the pavement. A few days later, the authorities paid a visit to the DMV. The guard perked up when he saw the city mayor, Mr. Reckenzone, getting out of his expensive SUV with his entourage. Mitchell reckoned confidently marched down the narrow corridor and firmly grasped the door handle when he heard busy. There was no need to roam around without a call.
He flung the door open to the office. Lucy and Denise were frozen in place, unable to speak, and their coffee mugs trembled in their ringed hands.
Jennifer looked on with interest as the formidable boss exclaimed, "What kind of nonsense is going on here?"
The mayor continued the other day. An honorable resident of our city and war hero, Chris Dobber, came here and you humiliated him.
Lucy and Denise tried to defend themselves, batting their eyelashes, but the mayor didn't even want to listen.
It turns out that the hero missed the bus.
After all, he decided to walk with the hope of catching a ride.
An expensive SUV stopped in front of Chris.
The driver was the mayor himself, who recognized the honorable citizen and felt it was his duty to take him to his destination.
Chris Dobber, a submarine midshipman, served in a nuclear submarine for a long time.
One day, a terrible fire broke out on the ship, threatening to turn into a large-scale disaster that could destroy dozens of human lives and cause irreparable damage to the environment. After putting out the fire,
Mr. Dobber received severe burns and became disabled.
Chris was discharged from the service and sent home for a well-deserved rest. But in his hometown, new troubles awaited him.
His wife, seeing the condition he was in, quickly packed her suitcase and left him later.
Chris found out that his ex-wife was having an affair with a small market trader.
After that, she was seen with another guy, and then another unemployed drunkard, Mr. Diopia, went to his village to live with his elderly mother and led a solitary life.
He started drinking,
but did not lose control. He helped his mother with housework, completely forgetting to take care of his appearance.
He forgot that many people still judge a person by their clothes, so he came to the DMV office in shabby clothes that made him feel comfortable in the village. The inhabitants had long known and gotten used to his old midshipman's pea jacket and the scars on his face.
After the mayor paid a visit, both Lucy and Denise were let go, and Jennifer was given the role of head of the DMV office. Although the position came with added responsibilities and concerns, Jennifer embraced the challenge and made an effort to treat customers with kindness.
She assembled a young team, and the DMV began operating efficiently.
As a result, customers no longer had to wait in long lines, and the employees received positive feedback from satisfied visitors.
Jennifer's personal life also took a turn for the better when she met a charming man who worked as a camera operator for a local television station. The journalists visited the DMV to film a story about Jennifer and her profession, and the young operator was taken with Jennifer's friendly and open demeanor.
They went on a walk together after work, and soon after, he invited her to the movies. A month later, Jennifer and her new boyfriend Greg became inseparable in her cat, who had previously been destructive due to boredom stopping tearing up the wallpaper as he was content with the new love in the household.
On Memorial Day, Jennifer and her friends, including Bragg, who was filming a story for the evening news, attended a gathering together. Jennifer was invited as a guest of honor, being recognized as the best social worker. While on the stage, she saw a distinguished man in a full dress uniform.
The sailor's chest was adorned with medals and decorations.
Jennifer recognized the man as Chris Stobber, a brave hero.
The sight of him made her heart race with pride.
Today, the hero gave a heartfelt speech to the residents and shared his life story.
And spoke about his deeds modestly, noting that he fulfilled his duties and served this country, not for the sake of receiving medals.
The most important thing is to be human. Not everyone can put themselves in harm's way or sacrifice themselves for others.
For me, the epitome of honesty and integrity was a kind and lovely girl,
who reached out to me when everyone else had turned away. As Jennifer heard her name being called, she saw the hero extending an invitation for her to come up to the podium. With the help of others, she climbed up onto a tall platform. The entire city erupted in applause as the honorary citizen presented her with a beautiful bouquet of lush roses. Greg captured the moment on camera and in the evening while watching the news. He excitedly told Jennifer that she should have no doubt about his sincere and true love for her. When Jennifer asked, "Look how beautiful you are on the screen, just like a movie star," he replied, "They say that the camera loves a person."
Meaning the operator is infatuated with the person they captured.
Jennifer laughed and said, "Greg, you scoundrel on the screen, I may look like a movie star, but in real life, I'm a plain Jane." Greg hugged his beloved, looked into her eyes, and said quietly, "In life, you are 100 times more beautiful." This was the end of the story, guys. Always remember, if the end is well, everything is well. Peace.